I think there's something in that, in the sense that artists are getting together with scientists to create new art. And certainly science has contributed to art through the discovery of new media, paper to begin with, but then photography, e-music, lasers. I'm sure my colleagues will give examples. And they've inspired artistic works. And I think some of the images produced in science, the pictures we get from the Hubble telescope, are indeed works of art. So I personally think that arts and sciences are both great, but they're different. They are different manifestations of human culture and civilization.
I'm going to speak more directly about my experience as an artist who's always been very influenced by science, maybe just by some accident of upbringing and circumstances. I slipped into art when I could have been a scientist, I'm not quite sure. I noticed very quickly that a lot of the cosmologists and astronomers, they were talking all the time about, they'd disappear for a few weeks and they'd come back and say, hello, where have you been? And they say, oh, I've been off observing. And I thought, well, that's very interesting that, they have an actual word, this word observing, for a very particular practice, which is actually what, it's what artists do too. They observe. It's what all human beings do, actually. Certainly children, maybe some of us have it drummed out, but observing is fundamental to a human's response to the world.
First, on the general question of the relationship between art and science, I think I'm going to try to stake a radical claim and state that they are completely different activities that have very little to tell one another. I don't think either one of them necessarily has anything to do with beauty, although in some cases they do, but not necessarily in all. There seems to be an affinity between scientists and artists. Certain excitement that scientists share about the world, about discovering what it looks like and how it works. And it seems to me that artists have a similar kind of excitement about their own activity, even if it doesn't necessarily have to do with the same thing. I think scientists and artists are both trying to get at something you might call truth. And I think the ultimate resemblance is in the personalities of the people performing those activities. So even though I think the products and the approaches and the standards and ultimately the meaning are radically different between science and art, I find it very easy to talk with artists, to get along with artists both on their turf and on mine, and to share this sense of awe and discovery about these very different things.